Did you know there are books written thousands of years ago that were deliberately excluded from the Bible? Why would someone exclude religious texts? And more importantly, what is so controversial or dangerous about them? Today we're going to explore the mystery of the so-called apocryphal books, ancient works that were left out of the sacred scriptures. Could these texts hide secrets about the past or ideas that might change how we understand faith? Stay with me until the end, because the answers will surprise you. To understand why some books were excluded from the Bible, we need to go back in time and explore how the sacred scriptures were organized. The Bible, as we know it today, didn't emerge fully formed. It was shaped over centuries through intense debates among religious leaders, philosophers, and politicians. Each group had its own priorities and beliefs, which directly influenced what was included and what was left out. The so-called apocryphal books, from the Greek word meaning hidden, include fascinating texts such as the Book of Enoch, the Gospel of Thomas, and the Book of Jubilees. These books were excluded for several reasons. First, they did not meet strict criteria established by religious councils, such as apostolic authorship, which required that the author be an apostle or have a direct connection to Jesus. Additionally, the texts needed to align with the theological doctrines accepted at the time and be widely used in Christian communities. An interesting example is the Book of Enoch, which narrates detailed stories about angels who disobeyed God, fell in love with humans, and produced a race of giants known as the Nephilim. These accounts were considered controversial, especially because they challenged conventional interpretations of divine creation and the role of angels. For this reason, they were deemed unsuitable to be part of the official scriptures. Another significant factor was the consolidation of religious power. In the early centuries of Christianity, the church was expanding and needed a unified set of texts to prevent internal divisions. Books that raised questions about reincarnation, the roles of women in religion, and alternative interpretations of the world's creation were seen as threats to central authority. Politics also played a major role. During the Roman Empire, Christianity became the official religion, and rulers wanted the Bible to reflect a vision that strengthened social and political order. Many apocryphal books contained revolutionary or challenging messages, which led to their exclusion. Thus, the formation of the Bible was not just a matter of faith, but also a complex negotiation between political power and religious doctrines. Now that we understand why certain books were excluded from the Bible, the question arises, what exactly do these texts contain that made them so controversial? The apocryphal books, although diverse in content, share a common trait. They present narratives, ideas, and perspectives that challenge the established view of the accepted scriptures. For instance, the Book of Enoch provides detailed descriptions of fallen angels, known as the Watchers, who rebelled against God. They are said to have taught humans forbidden knowledge, such as the art of metalworking, astrology, and even magic. These stories suggest that humanity may have received celestial assistance to acquire power and knowledge, something viewed as subversive. Additionally, the Book of Enoch describes a divine judgment of these angels, presenting an alternate vision of heaven and earth distinct from what was accepted by the official church. It also links these events to major biblical disasters, such as the Great Flood. Another fascinating text is the Gospel of Thomas, composed of 114 sayings attributed to Jesus. Unlike traditional Gospels, it portrays Jesus as a teacher who emphasizes that the kingdom of God is within each individual. This intimate approach to spirituality, which suggests that each person can access the divine directly, could be seen as a rejection of the need for religious intermediaries. Moreover, the Gospel of Thomas does not narrate miracles or the resurrection of Jesus, which distanced it from accepted doctrines and made it controversial. In the Book of Jubilees, we find an alternative account of creation in the early history of humanity. This book not only details the role of angels in human events, but also introduces a completely different religious calendar from that used by the leaders of the time. This difference could cause confusion among followers and fragment religious practices. For this reason, leaders chose to exclude it to ensure uniformity in celebrations. Some texts also explore more significant roles for women. For instance, the Gospel of Mary, associated with Mary Magdalene, portrays her as a close disciple with profound knowledge of Jesus' teachings. This contrasts with the patriarchal view of the time, which sought to minimize the role of women in spiritual leadership. These books not only expand spiritual understanding, but also challenge structures of power. That's why, even today, they continue to fascinate scholars and readers around the world. As we've seen, the apocryphal books were excluded from the Bible for reasons that go beyond faith, involving issues of politics, power, and doctrine. These texts provide a fascinating insight into the religious thinking of the time and challenge some of the established beliefs we know today. Now tell me, do you think these books should be more widely studied and discussed, or should they remain a part of the mystery that surrounds them? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. See you next time.